The air crackled with anticipation. Tiger Woods, golf's most captivating figure, was back. After months of battling injury and doubt, he had returned to the crucible of major championship golf. The setting, Pinehurst No. 2, a Donald Ross masterpiece known for its demanding layout and rich history. This was a course that tested every facet of a golfer's game, a fitting stage for Woods' latest comeback. Pinehurst had always held a special place in Woods' heart. He had triumphed here before, his victory in the 1999 US Amateur a testament to his prodigious talent. Now, 15 years later, he returned as a seasoned veteran, his legacy etched in the annals of golf history. But the years had taken their toll. Injuries had robbed him of his once invincible aura. But Tiger Woods thrived on proving doubters wrong. He had arrived at Pinehurst with a steely glint in his eye, determined to silence the skeptics and reclaim his place atop the golfing world. The morning dawned bright and clear over the rolling hills of North Carolina. A gentle breeze rustled through the long-leaf pines that lined the fairways of Pinehurst No. 2. The air buzzed with a nervous energy, a palpable sense of anticipation that only a major championship could generate. Golf fans from around the world had descended upon this hallowed ground, eager to witness history unfold. Among the throngs of spectators, whispers of Tiger rippled through the crowd. His name, uttered with a mix of reverence and excitement, was a constant presence on the course. Every conversation, every sideways glance seemed to revolve around the looming presence of Tiger Woods. As the morning wore on, the crowd swelled around the practice green where Woods was fine-tuning his game. Cameras clicked and whirred, capturing his every stroke, every bead of sweat that dripped from his brow. Commentators breathlessly analyzed his swing, searching for any sign of rust or discomfort, but Tiger seemed unfazed by the attention. He was in his element, back on the grand. Tiger Woods stepped onto the first tee box and surveyed the scene before him. A sea of faces stretched out as far as the eye could see, a kaleidoscope of colors and emotions all fixated on a single point, him. The roar of the crowd, which had been building steadily all morning, reached a crescendo as he removed his cap and offered a polite wave. He had witnessed this kind of adulation countless times before, yet it never failed to send a jolt of adrenaline coursing through his veins. It was a reminder of the unique connection he had with golf fans, a bond forged through years of spectacular triumphs and heartbreaking setbacks. They had been with him through it all, the highs and the lows, and their unwavering support fueled his desire to succeed. As he settled into his stance, Tiger could feel the weight of their expectations pressing down on him. The silence that descended upon the first tee box was almost deafening. The cacophony of the crowd seemed to melt away, replaced by a hushed expectancy that hung heavy in the air. It was the kind of silence that only accompanies moments of great significance. Tiger Woods, a man accustomed to performing under pressure, could feel his pulse quicken. The first tee shot of a major championship always carried with it a unique sense of anticipation. But this time, the stakes felt even higher. Months of rehabilitation and self-doubt had led to this moment, and the eyes of the golfing world were watching intently. He took a deep breath, trying to slow the racing thoughts in his mind. The key, he reminded himself, was to focus on the task. The ball landed with a soft thud on the fairway, a few yards short of the ideal position. A collective sigh rippled through the crowd, a mixture of relief and disappointment. Tiger Woods' opening tee shot at the US Open was not the booming statement of intent that some had anticipated, but it was a solid start nonetheless. As he strode down the fairway, Tiger couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude wash over him. Just being back on this stage, competing against the best golfers in the world, was a victory in itself. The months of grueling rehabilitation, the doubts that had crept into his mind during the long nights, all of it faded into the background as he immersed himself in the familiar rhythms of the game. However, the challenges of Pinehurst No. 2 quickly became apparent. The undulating greens, known for their speed and unpredictability, proved to be a formidable opponent. Putts that seemed perfectly struck veered off course, leaving Tiger shaking his head in frustration. As the round progressed, glimpses of the old Tiger began to emerge. On the par 4 fifth hole, he unleashed a towering drive that split the fairway, leaving him with a short iron into the green. The crowd erupted in applause, their spirits buoyed by this display of power and precision. Tiger responded with a deft approach shot that landed softly on the green, rolling to within a few feet of the hole. The birdie putt, struck with his trademark confidence, found the bottom of the cup, eliciting another roar from the gallery. It was a vintage Tiger moment, a reminder of the brilliance that had captivated the golfing world for so long. He followed up with a string of pars, showcasing his trademark course management and scrambling ability. On the treacherous par 3 ninth hole, his tee shot found a greenside bunker, leaving him with a difficult up and down. The back nine at Pinehurst No. 2 is a stern test of golf and temperament. The course's signature turtleback greens, with their steep slopes and subtle breaks, have been known to frustrate even the most seasoned professionals. For Tiger Woods, battling not only the course but also the weight of expectation, the challenge was even greater. He had weathered an early bogey on the 11th hole, his putter continuing to misbehave on the treacherous greens. But true champions are defined by their ability to overcome adversity, and Tiger dug deep, summoning the mental fortitude that had carried him to 14 major championship victories. On the 13th hole, a demanding par 4, he found himself in trouble off the tee, his drive landing in the thick rough. Faced with a difficult second shot, he opted for a conservative approach, chipping out to the fairway and leaving himself a long iron into the green. The birdie on the 13th hole seemed to ignite a spark in Tiger Woods. He followed it up with another birdie on the par 5 16th, his iron play finally clicking into gear. The crowd, sensing a possible late charge, roared their approval. However, Pinehurst No. 2 is a course that demands constant attention, and it wasn't about to let Tiger off the hook so easily. On the 17th hole, a treacherous par 3, his tee shot found a greenside bunker, leaving him with a difficult up and down. This time the magic touch deserted him, and he could only manage a bogey. The roller coaster ride continued on the 18th hole, a demanding par 4. As Tiger Woods walked off the 18th green, the applause of the crowd washing over him, he couldn't help but feel a surge of pride mixed with a tinge of disappointment. His opening round score of even par 70 was a respectable start to the US Open, but he knew it could have been so much better. He had shown flashes of brilliance, particularly with his iron play and his trademark ability to scramble for pars. But the putter, so often the key to his success, had let him down on several occasions. The treacherous greens of Pinehurst No. 2 had exposed a rare vulnerability in his game. Despite the frustration of a few missed opportunities, Tiger remained optimistic. He knew that he was still very much in contention, and that a low round on Friday could propel him up the leaderboard. The key, he reminded himself, was to stay patient, to trust his game, and to embrace the challenge that lay ahead. As the dust settled on Tiger Woods' opening round at the US Open, golf analysts and fans alike dissected his performance, searching for clues as to what the next 3 days might hold. It had been a round of both encouragement and concern, a tantalizing glimpse into the past, tempered by the realities of the present. There were moments of vintage Tiger, shots that evoked memories of his prime when he seemed invincible, capable of bending the game to his will. The towering drive on the 5th hole, the deft chip-in on the 9th, the clutch birdie putt on the 13th. These were the moments that reminded the world of his unique talent, his ability to summon greatness when it mattered most. But there were also signs of vulnerability, reminders that the Tiger Woods of 2024 was not the same force of nature that had dominated the game a decade earlier. The missed putts, the occasional errant approach shot, the struggles with his short game. These were the chinks in the armor that his opponents would be looking to exploit. As the sun began its slow descent over Pinehurst No. 2, casting long shadows across the hallowed grounds, a sense of anticipation hung in the air. Tiger Woods' opening round at the US Open had done little to quell the speculation surrounding his comeback, but it had offered a glimmer of hope, a suggestion that the old magic might still be there, lurking beneath the surface. The road ahead would be long and arduous. Pinehurst No. 2, with its demanding layout and treacherous greens, would continue to test every facet of his game. His rivals, emboldened by his recent struggles, would be more determined than ever to claim victory. And the weight of expectation, the burden of a legacy that seemed to grow heavier with each passing year, would continue to rest on his shoulders. But Tiger Woods had never been one to shy away from a challenge. He had stared down adversity countless times before.